Hi everyone, this is the second episode of our program Open Insurance TV, powered by Revista Policy and GR TV. I am Kelly Lubiato, I'm the publisher of Revista Policy. You can find us on the main podcast platforms and on YouTube. Subscribe our channel and click on the bell to receive our updates, okay? And here you find some information about the national and international insurance and reinsurance market in many conversations with executives of insurance companies and brokers. And if you have any suggestions for topic or people to be here, use the QR code that appears on your screen or on the podcast description. And now we are going to talk to Bruno Freire, CEO of Austral Re. He leads a team of 60 people. He was the president of the National Association of Reinsurers and began his career in 2000 at Aon Benfield. Bruno, welcome here.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm glad to be here with you.
Thank you. And I always do the same question for all my guests here. What's the biggest challenge in Brazilian market of large risks?
I think, as you said, large risks is always a challenge. We deal with a lot of volatility because there are large risks. And dealing with volatility is very different than dealing with some other types of insurance when you have a big mass of business, a lot of data, you have less volatility, of course you have more severity. So dealing with large risks, you have to deal with daily with volatility. That's what we do. So we take some of the volatility as reinsurers from the market, and we have to then diversify our business. That's very important. Diversify lines of business, diversifying regions, diversify in different products, and buy reinsurance. So the insurance companies who deals with large risks, they have to buy reinsurance. Reinsurance companies dealing with large risks, we have to buy retrocession to have a less volatile business at the end of the day and try to bring profitability to our shareholders and stability to our clients, which are the ceding companies. So, and at the moment at the Brazilian market, we have, I think we have had some improvements in the regulations, which has helped the market to develop. The market was open only 15 years ago, and I think we have developed very much as a market since the opening of the reinsurance market. I think climate changes are a big issue, not only in Brazil, but globally, and we have to deal with that as a new challenge or increasing challenge to the market. And specifically in Brazil, we have had in the last 5-10 years a lot of competition. That's tough as well. Sometimes we were not able to put the prices and the correct underwriting that we wanted to. But now I think the market is improving in that sense as well, and is becoming more rational, I would say. So I think we are living a good moment now, and we hope that the underwriting discipline of the market will stay there for a while.
Besides, the market is in a hard moment. We are in a good moment the reinsurance market.
I think so. I think we have started to see the hardening of the market, of the international market, I would say, since 2018. Okay. After some big losses, after some changes in laws in the specialty side. But a lot of that didn't come to Brazil very fast. So in the specialty side, like energy, aviation, which is very dependent on the London market, we have seen the hardening of the market since 2018-19. But when we look at general property, casualty, financial lines, other lines of business, it delayed to come the hard market to Brazil. So the market here was still very competitive because we have a lot of local capacity, and the international market was already hard. But in the last couple of years, I think we have seen, after some losses of the local market on the large risk sides, on the crop, on some large risk property and everything, we have seen the market starting to be more reasonable and putting some prices that have more sense with the risks that reinsurers are taking and insurance companies are taking as well.
And for Austral Re, you said to me that you operating almost in America and Caribbean. How is the impact of climate change for you?
Yes, we are operating, in fact, in Latin America, not the whole America, so Latin America,
Okay.
so Mexico to Argentina,
Okay.
basically in our countries, and we don't have appetite for the Caribbean at all
Okay.
because of exactly with the climate changes, the hurricane or the wind exposure that they have there is outside our risk appetite.
Okay.
So, I mean, we try to deal, I mean, we have a lot of models, so we try to be very analytical in understanding the climate change risk. So we work very much with RMS, for example, to understand our exposures, our concentrations, our exposure to hurricanes, for example, in Mexico, Central America, or to flood. But we try, as a regional company, we're not as big as some of the international reinsurers, and when we don't have their diversification globally, we try to avoid a lot of concentration on climate-related risks. So, for example, since 2020, we don't write crop anymore. We don't write agro.
Okay.
We left the agro market, even because I think we thought climate change was changing that, so the risk was improving. The market was too competitive, and it was becoming relevant to the Brazilian market and to us. And to be very small in this market, we are not relevant, so that's not good. And to be big, it was too big to us, so too volatile to us. So we decided to leave the crop market, for example, because of that, to reduce our volatility, to reduce our PMLs, and to be more, to be able to control more our risks and our exposures. But still, of course, we have flood exposures, we have some wind exposures. We have seen in the last few years some windstorms in the south of Brazil or even in Argentina now that we haven't seen never before. So these risks are improving, are increasing, not improving, are increasing. Mm-hmm. But we haven't had, honestly, on that sense, any really, really large loss yet in our market. So okay. Although we see that increasing, we haven't seen any really, really large loss, as for example, a hurricane that we have in Caribbean, Central America, or Mexico, for example.
Okay. Now let's change a little bit the subject. Talking about brokers. The consolidation of major international brokers has paved the way to the emergence of new companies, new brokers, with highly trained professionals. Is that good for you, as an reinsurer?
I think it's pretty good. I think we have seen that cycles in the past.
Yes.
So you have a lot of consolidations, and I think clients and the market in general, we don't like to be in the hand of just a few players. So it opens the space to new people to come. So I think in the reinsurance broking market, it's very important to be very technical, very analytical, to understand that. So that's why in the insurance market you have thousands of brokers. In the reinsurance market you don't have many. It's very concentrated. Yes. Not here, but everywhere. So I would say the three large brokers, they probably have more than 70% of the market, not only here but globally. But we have seen, as you said, new brokers or smaller brokers investing in bringing.
Yes.
I think it's good. I think to have more options and to have more options for us to hire brokers or for us to have things from different brokers, it's good. However, it has two sides. It's good from one side because you have more competition, you have more options, clients have more options, but also I think the new brokers they spend a lot of money hiring new people, hiring new systems and everything. And then they have the pressure to grow, and they try to force the market. So they try to force the market to become softer. And in a way, for reinsurers, it's tough as well. We have to control that appetite from brokers to try to reduce prices and everything. And of course, we have to try to keep the underwriting discipline there.
About the focus of Austral Re, you said to me, but here in Brazil, what's your focus of operation as a local reinsurer?
We are, from the beginning, a multi-line reinsurer. I think to reduce the volatility of the business, it's important for us to be diversified. So we don't have one focus. We want to be diversified. So I would say our focus is to be diversified. So we write almost all lines of business. Yes, it's to be. We want to put the eggs in different. As a company, what we don't write nowadays is crop, as I just said. We don't write health or medical expenses.
Okay.
And basically, we write on a treaty basis all other sessions. On the fact, we are more specialized in specialty, which is basically power, marine, and energy. But on treaties, we write basically all lines of business, but health and crop. So we see some opportunities of growth in life now, which is today less than 10% of our portfolio. But after the pandemic, we see opportunities of growth there. We see some opportunities of growth in our lines of business in Latam. Insurance in Latam, for example, we see opportunities there. And we also, of course, there is a lot of demand in Latam for growing the cat exposures, but we try to, we don't want to grow more on cat than in the others. We want to keep the split that we have now.
Okay. Is it easier when you have the insurance company inside your group? You have Austral Re and Austral Insurance Company. Is that easier to operation?
I think it's very common. So if you look at the big insurance groups in the world, most of them, they have a reinsurance company. And if you look at the 3 large reinsurance companies in the world, like Munich, Swiss, Hanover, their group, they also have insurance companies. So I think it's very common. And I think for the shareholders, it's good, and for the group itself, to diversify between insurance and reinsurance, and you have the possibility to allocate more capital in one and the other, depending on the conditions of the market, and you diversify the business, and you can see both of opportunities. And on the cost side, also we become more efficient on that sense. But of course, when on the underwriting side, it's completely separate. And on the claim side, it's completely separate. We have a big Chinese wall because of the operations. They have to be very independent. Just to give an idea, only 3% of our income today comes from Austral Insurance. 97% comes from the rest of the market. So the rest of the market, they have to trust us that there is this independence. And I think they trust us. That's why we have 97% of this. So we have to be very separated in that sense. However, as a group, as managing capital, managing risks, and managing cost, I think it helps to have one group with both companies.
And you talk about services and things that brokers can do for their clients. But reinsurance is a commodity. We can see it as a commodity. Or what can reinsurance do for the client to stand out of the market?
Yeah, I think it's not a commodity at all. I think there is a part of the business which is a commodity, which is we have capital.
Okay.
I would say our product is to provide capital in terms of as reinsurance to our clients, and capital or money is a commodity, and you will allocate that on trying to diversify on different risks when you think it makes sense on pricing wise and everything. In that sense, you could see it as a commodity, but technically or analytically, it's not a commodity because we analyze every risk differently, and reinsurers look at risks differently. And so knowing the clients, knowing the products, knowing the regulations and the specific things of each country, of each market, is a differentiation. Understanding client needs and understanding what they need and provide to clients the structure of reinsurance that they need, or helping them to develop new products, or helping them trying to quote different possibilities of a structure to allow them to see what they want. And this is very servicing basis. And I think in the end of the day, the ceding companies, they choose reinsurance by their rating, by their capacity to pay losses in the future, but also by the service. And I think that's why we have been able to grow on this market. And I think that's the differentiation that we have comparing with some other global companies, because we are locals, we understand more clients, we understand more this market, and we are here for them. And I think clients have this perception as well.
Like insurance is a face-to-face business.
Yes, I think it's becoming more and more data-driven, and that's good. It's becoming more and more analytical. I think technology is helping us to...
How technology is helping your business, the insurance business, the analytics, the form of describe the
I think I think we see more opportunities to gain efficiency with automatization and even artificial intelligence, for example, to read slips and to put in the system. So we need less manual work, and this brings efficiency internally. But also on the underwriting side, working with a lot of data and being able to understand more pricing, risk, and everything. This is changing. There is a lot of analytics there, and I think this is the future of the market. So, I mean, I think the market is still improving on that, but in a few years, who's not investing a lot on that will be probably out of the market. Like, if you look at the past of the motor insurance companies in Brazil, where the company that had the profiles and the company that didn't have the profiles, the company who didn't have the profiles, they are out of the market. And now, and I think the same will happen in a few years with data analytics. Who doesn't have a lot of...
will be out of the market.
Yeah, but still, clients are, the insurance companies are made by people, and the people take the decision of, I will work with this insurance, I will work with this insurance, I will work with this broker. So it's still a people's business. It's still a trust business. You can have a very good credit or a very good security, but ability to pay claims fast is not only about having money, it's not only about having good systems. It's about depending on people, on behavior, on wanting to serve the client, on not wanting to find an exclusion when not paid. I will not pay that. So, and I think clients have this perception over time, and they have the people they trust. And I think being in this market for now, I'm 24 years, and I hope to be many more, is gaining this trust over time, not only personally, but as a company. So.
And we need still the human people doing the thing, teaching the artificial intelligence to how to do the things, how to make the analysis.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And what's the most challenging product that you see in the market now, or the mainly needs of the market now?
No, I, for example, a big challenge, and I told you, I mean, we left crop because I think it's very challenging. So it's difficult because of the climate changes. It is difficult because when you have a big loss like we had in 2022 with this big draw, you need a lot of loss adjusters in a very few time, and you probably don't have enough. So it's difficult to adjust losses. So it's a very difficult market, and it's a big challenge to the market. But also you have some emerging risks like cyber, for example, which is a challenge because nobody knows what's possible to happen in the future. So we do some
changes.
Yeah, it changes all the time. So I mean, I think nobody really knows what can happen. And we write some cyber, but it's small. So we want to invest in that. I think the future is there, but at the same time, we don't want to overexpose ourselves with cyber because we know that stuff to underwrite without enough experience, not ours, but even the market, even the world doesn't know yet what can happen. So that's a big challenge as well.
Oh, nice, very good to have you here. But we are finishing our interview, and the last question I'd like to know: how do you see the future of Austral here in Brazil?
Yeah, I mean we have been growing a lot. We have 14 years now. So we started up the company a couple years after the opening of the reinsurance market, and we have been growing over time. I think now we are known and by all the Brazilian market and most of the Latin American market. We don't have anymore to explain who we are. Now they know who we are and they know what we do. And so now I think in the next phase, I think we still want to grow in Latam. We want to focus on our core business, which is the P&C business and life. We want to diversify more our business in the region. And then next step, we don't think now we don't have plans to grow outside Latin America. It could happen in the future, but not for the next couple of years. We still think there is a lot of space to grow both in Brazil and in Latam. We have been upgraded in our rating a year ago, and that was very important for us to enter in some new clients, in some new insurance companies. And now I think we want to retribute to the market, giving capacity and being there when we had some problems of people leaving, people reducing exposures in the next couple of years. And at this moment, we have been there. So we want to still be there for our clients.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much, Bruno, for being here. I hope that you have liked it and you come back other time to talk more about Austral Re.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. It was very nice as well. It was my pleasure and hope to be back soon.
Oh, the first season of Open Insurance podcast continues. Watch the next episode with Rodrigo Protásio of Gallinger. And don't forget to subscribe our channel and send us email talking about your suggestions of topics and people to be here. You can see the QR code on your screen or on the podcast description. Bye-bye.
Bye.